everybody? My name is Mr. VIP, and today we're on ZillaWorldTV, and I got a special guest that I want you all to meet by the name Rulaa the Rulaa, aka Youve. How you doing today?
I am doing awesome. How are you doing, Mr. VIP?
I'm doing great. It's good to have you finally here. So
Likewise.
I want to dive straight into the first question. Tell us where you're from and a little bit about your childhood.
So right now I live in Jacksonville. When I got out of prison, I relocated to Jacksonville, Florida, but I am from a very small town called Lake Placid. It's kind of South Central Florida. A lot of people have not heard of it, and every single time I tell somebody I'm from Lake Placid, they always ask me if it's the same Lake Placid that the movie was filmed from. It's not. It is not the same movie. If it was, I would have been in the movie.
Exactly.
But it is very small. We have maybe like 3, 4 red lights. We just got a Wawa's. It's not very much to do. And growing up there, it wasn't really much. I was raised in a single parent household. My mom raised all 4 of us. I am the youngest of the 4, so I am the baby, but I'm still the big dog. But I'm the youngest. She did the best she could. You know, my mama, she always made a way out of no way. My father, he was around, but he wasn't around. He was married, so of course, he had a wife and another family, so he wasn't around much.
Exactly. Cool. That was good to share. So where do you think you would have been if you hadn't gone to prison, and why do you think that?
Ooh, that question has a lot of layers. Before I went to prison, I was very angry. I fought a lot. I was always good in school because that's one thing my mama always enforced was education. She did not play. So I made good grades all through school, but my priorities was not lined up. I did not have the mind for the future to make any productive decisions. So if I would have never went to prison, I feel like I would have been like the people running on a hamster wheel, running through life, making decisions as I go, instead of actually being purposeful and having intentions with everything that I do.
Mm, okay. So in hindsight, would you say going to prison was a blessing or a curse?
Let's see. I'm real iffy about saying it was a blessing because I think about everything I went through. So it's like kind of a slap in the face to myself going through that to say it was a blessing.
Yeah.
But I can't say that it was not a blessing at the same time. So as far as with prison, like I said, I would not be the person that I am today if I would have never went to prison. And it wasn't prison itself. It's just the lessons and everything that I learned being locked up. The perspective I have now would have never been the perspective that I have had I not went to prison. So I'm not gonna necessarily say it was a blessing,
Exactly.
but I am grateful for what I learned being there.
Exactly. Okay. So if you could change any one decision you had in your life, what would it be and why?
Whew. I mean, I got a lot of decisions that I need to undo, but if I had to pick one, of course, the obvious one most people will probably feel is, the fact that I went to prison. But if I only had one to pick, I would say the thing that I would undo is how I shut off my emotions. When I was locked up, of course, all the things that you go through, it takes a lot on your mental health, on your emotional health. It takes a toll. So at a point in prison, over the years, I learned how to turn off my emotions to certain situations. And it has hindered the way I connect with people. It has hindered the way I see people. And it's like, it's harder for me to connect and relate and get on a personal level with people because I was so good at shutting those emotions off. And now I don't know how to turn it back on. So if I had to undo anything, it would have been me shutting down and putting up that wall that I do not know how to take down.
Oh wow, that's amazing. So explain to people why you're physically not here on my show with me today.
Okay, so of course I did prison, right? We all know by now. I did 10 years in prison. But when I got sentenced to prison, the judge gave me a suspended sentence, which is when you do time in prison and you also do time on probation when you get out. So I had a 20-year suspended sentence, which means I did 10 in prison and now I'm on 10 years of probation. And one of the clauses with my probation is that I cannot travel. I cannot leave outside of the county of Duval. under no circumstances without permission. So as far as going to visit my family, I have to get a travel permit. If I want to go do anything outside, like say I wanted to go to Disneyland, or if I wanted to go to Six Flags, wherever I wanted to go, I would have to have it approved to get a travel permit. And on top of that, I also have a curfew, which is 10 o'clock. So like I'm still in high school, I have to be in the house at 10 o'clock every single day, no ifs, and buts, or maybe. So on top of traveling, I can only get a travel permit approved if the location I'm going to be home by 10 o'clock. So of course that limits how far out I can go because I always have to make sure I'm home at 10 and I cannot leave the house before 6. So my curfew is 10 o'clock at night to 6 o'clock in the morning, which is why this interview had to be conducted over Zoom. And I do appreciate you accommodating me.